It's difficult to do photo mapping in Canada in the wintertime because everything's white. And often there's an overcast. You can't shoot through the overcast. So what Spartan did is they developed international clients as well. Canada wasn't the only country interested in accurate maps of their own territory. Other countries in Central, South America, and Africa were interested too.
So they did get substantial contracts in countries like Colombia. And then they formed a subsidiary in Argentina too, which did very, very well, and in fact outlasted Spartan in Canada. In fact, the last Mosquito to fly with the name Spartan on it was actually in Argentina.
So they would be in Canada throughout the summer months. As soon as it started snowing and things got cold, the airplanes and the crews would migrate to the south and spend a few months down there doing exactly the same kind of work.
First operational Mosquito sent overseas was sent to Colombia, and that was in 1956. Al McNutt was the pilot, and he chose me to be the navigator. Normal routing, we'd go Ottawa, Philadelphia, Philadelphia, Fort Lauderdale, Kingston, Bogota, because that's where all the processing would take place for entry visas and so on and so forth. And we had a big contract there at 20,000 feet for probably petroleum.
CFHMS operated in Colombia and the Dominican Republic in 1957 and 58.
Well, we were flying out of a place called Villavicencio in Colombia. So the guy, Ralph Burton, he'd come in and we'd dive down, roll the airplane a couple of times, and come up, do a fighter break, and land. So the commander of the airport came and talked to him and said, "Don't do that because you're a bad influence on our flying students." So we had to stop that.
I was doing a lot of field trouble work. When they had engine changes or couldn't get the aircraft to fly properly on, they'd send me overseas instead of bringing our aircraft back to Canada for overhaul. So then I would go over probably for a week to see servicing done on our aircraft.
It's the same, really, except the environment's different, and you're in a foreign country, and you probably don't speak the language. But the air controllers are all bilingual.
But there were also big risks involved too. For instance, there was an operation in Kenya which offered great promise, but it didn't work out for a number of reasons and was a big sinkhole for the company at a critical time. Work in Canada was starting to wind down, so working overseas carries a lot of risk, particularly when in some countries there's actually unrest that you're dealing with at the same time when you're trying to get the job done.